Hello, and welcome back. This is Borahla here. The moment has finally come to make our first trip back in time. Today, we are going to examine an approach called the grammar translation approach. This approach was widely used in the United States and Europe by teachers of Greek and Latin, as well as many other languages. So, as I explained in the first part of the course, we are going to travel back in time to meet teachers of English in order to ask them 6 questions related to content, technique, and purpose. We are going to do this like an interview. In one slide, you will hear the question, and then our teacher from the past will answer the question. So our first teacher lived in 1880, and he used the grammar translation approach in teaching. His answers to our questions then will be based on the grammar translation approach that he used. Are you ready to travel back in time? Let's go. Good day to you, sir. We are time travelers coming from the future. We come from the 21st century to meet you and ask you 6 questions about teaching and learning a language. Time travelers, you haven't even knocked on the door before entering into my classroom. So, you say you have 6 questions? You promise if I answer them you will leave me in peace? Okay, so which of you would like to ask the first question? Thank you, Professor. We promise to leave you in peace once you answer all of our questions. So, our first question is, why should we teach languages? Well, isn't it obvious? We should teach language and, in fact, all disciplines, art, science, mathematics, in an effort to help people become more cultured. The grand end of education is moral thinking. We should make sure young people understand great art, literature, such as that found in Latin and Greek. We stand on the shoulders of giants. How can students truly appreciate the great books of literature if they do not learn their Latin? Students must be taught how to be model individuals, and we must teach them how to speak correctly. If they cannot speak correctly and understand the rules of language, they will be just like immoral people you find in the streets who are ignorant, cannot even read the Bible. For shame. Who should we teach? Simple question, and the answer is very simple. We should teach young men, not women, from rich families, not poor, who can afford the best scholars like myself. I am very expensive, you know. What materials are needed to teach a language? A teacher needs books, the best books. Certainly Homer, Aristotle, Plato, and the Old and New Testament. Latin, Greek, Aramaic, these are the languages that matter. How does a learner learn a language? Young men learn languages by studying the great books in the original language. They learn by engaging in the text and powering over it. Since those texts contain the keys of understanding within them, learners also obtain an understanding of language through disciplined attempt and systematic and ambitious amount of instruction. I may be old, but I'm not softy. How should a teacher teach? By giving students large chapters to translate every night. I will give them an entire chapter in the original Greek. Then I will ask them to translate this into their native language. And then I will have the learner translate back into the original language, that is Latin. Then I will ask questions to test their comprehension so that I am certain that my students are paying attention to the themes found within the literature. I will also give a small list of verbs I don't know, perhaps 500. How do we help students remember a language? They must continue to read the books again and again. It is their dedicated effort that makes the difference. Their essays will certainly reflect that they have indeed learned each word I want them to know. Now, back to the present, to the 21st century. I hope you have enjoyed this interview with this 1880 professor of the translation method. Thank you for listening and see you in the next video.